So recently on Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah,
you had the original cast members of the original Ghostbusters movie
yeah,
with the cast of the new movie.
yeah.
And how that kind of went out, or how that came across as it's basically Bill Murray talking the movie up.
Yeah.
If you
I
watch the
love Bill
clip,
Murray. Love.
yeah, I said this last week. I'll repeat it here just so that you're on the up and up. His humor doesn't strike me.
Too dry.
It is too dry.
Mm.
It's so dry that I'm just like it's just too much.
Yeah.
I do think he's funny. He just doesn't make me laugh. If that makes any sense,
Yeah.
you know?
And for me, I'm jaded. I am so jaded. I am way too young to have lived so much of a life to the point where it's like Bill Murray is hilarious to me. That's how cynical I am about life. Bill
Mm.
Murray is hilarious to me. And yeah, but a lot of people, I understand, it's just he's so dry because he's so bleak and just, borderline depressed when it comes to his humor. And I relate to that. I love it. I think it's hilarious. You
I
know,
think George Carlin is more peppy and upbeat than he is.
I love George Carlin. May he rest in peace. That was the first celebrity death that I just that hit me, you know?
Yeah.
That was the first one.
So, um, they they preview this clip, and in the clip of the film, it's them getting the hearse, which is going to be
Yeah,
turned into the Ecto One,
generic reboot trailer.
and it's the clip is I think her name is Leslie Jones, the scary one, as some people call her. But she comes out and she's like, "You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car." It's all just the dialogue in that scene. It's not inspired.
No.
It's all just very basic. Like at one point, they're joking about there could be a corpse in the trunk, and you could do a lot with that as a comedy setup.
Yeah.
So what do? Uh, Kristen Wiig's character at one point, I think Leslie Jones' character basically said like, oh well, if there isn't a corpse, we have to report it to the authorities or something like that. And Kristen Wiig's character literally goes, "Okay, that's not funny."
Well, it would be funny if it's like, oh, there's probably a corpse in the bag, and then like, a ghost comes up and he's like, yeah, and I'm starting to stink pretty bad, so I wouldn't go back there. It's anything. It's easy. Yeah.
Like
But
any,
you,
I could honestly like
why are you expecting so much from it though, It's a reboot.
and that's what it is. It's a cash in,
Yeah, it's a reboot.
and you know, we were talking to someone earlier today, and they said that, they have seen some people on message boards saying, like they hate the movie simply for the fact that it's an all-female cast.
Okay.
That is
Well,
a dumb
yeah.
reason.
Stay in the Midwest, okay? And just whatever small itty bitty folky town that you live in, just don't leave there. Stay there. That's fine. And you can complain about, women in media and, gender swapping, all that stuff. That's perfectly fine. I don't dislike the idea of this movie because there are women taking over men's roles. Because let's face it, men take over women's roles. Men still make more money than women. We do not have equality in a lot of areas of life. And America is making leaps and bounds in comparison to some other areas in this world. But that's not why I have a problem with this movie. It has nothing to do with genders. I don't care what bathroom you use. It's fine.
It's
But
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a reboot.
Right.
I'm
We're
tired of it.
we're getting tired of reboots.
How many Spider-Man reboots are there?
Well, they're not. I mean, this is going to be a new Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Mhm.
but they're not doing an origin story. So they're kind of softening the blow of the fact that this is a reboot.
Okay, how many Batman movies now?
Well, this is our third one, right? Our
Mm,
third version.
no, Adam West
Oh,
counts.
oh, yeah, you're
Adam West counts.
Adam West, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Uh,
Should we include George Clooney and
yeah, George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
So that's four, and then we have
Hmm.
Christian Bale, and now we've got Batfleck,
Yeah,
Ben
Batfleck,
Affleck.
yeah. And then how many Superman reboots? You've got three. Three Superman reboots. Or
Well, are
three
you
Superman movies.
counting
I
the
mean, three
TV
super.
shows?
No, I'm talking about the original Chris Reeves.
Yeah,
And then
Chris
you've got Return of Superman.
Superman
Yeah,
Returns.
Superman Returns. And then you've got Man of Steel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
So I'm tired. I want something like original. And I understand the Beatles said it best. Somebody asked them, like, how do you feel about people ripping off your songs, now that you're so famous and they're just cashing in on your sound. And I want to say Paul McCartney was the one who said it, but he said there are only so many chords.
Yeah, and
That's understandable.
And with this movie, you have to understand Bill Murray's name is attached to it. He's in the movie. He's not playing his original character, but we at least know that he has a cameo as
Yeah.
some different character. He may
And
be a ghost. I don't know.
that's exciting, and he probably got good kickback for that. Like, we'll
Yeah.
sign a big
Oh,
paycheck.
definitely.
Just walk on the set.
So, since he's attached to this movie, he's not going to come out and say this
Yeah.
movie's not funny because he has to support it.
Yeah, he signed a contract.
So, bringing him onto Jimmy Kimmel to basically say these women are funny as like a comic authoritative figure.
We know they're not.
Like, well, the actresses are. They have the capacity to be hilarious because I've seen each and every one of them in different things, whether it's SNL or something else related. They can be funny. Not all of them make me laugh, but a couple of them do.
I'm strictly like, speaking on the level of SNL when it comes to funny.
Mhm.
And it's just, you're competing against, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and
Yeah.
I mean,
That
there,
is it's a classic. It's one of those lightning in a bottle
yeah.
movies.
If it weren't for the original cast and what they contributed to
And the chemistry.
Saturday Night Live wouldn't exist today because it's boring, like in comparison to, and a lot of it is the evolution of technology and the attention span of the average watcher, and how entertainment is going nowadays. But like it's just, you're competing like don't you're doing a reboot and the only thing that they have going for them is the fact that it's a gender swap,
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they're going
And they
for.
even gender swapped the secretary's character. Chris Hemsworth is
Mm.
playing him, and he's a ditzy guy. It's like, okay, we get it. You're making the female character who is ditzy into a ditzy male character, and you're taking the leads.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about that. That doesn't bother me a whole lot,
Yeah.
but it's just this is not the Ghostbusters movie that we wanted.
No, it's not. We wanted a sequel.
We wanted a sequel.
There are so like, all right, three seems to be the magic number. After that, no more sequels, because it just gets. Let's face it, if Pirates of the Caribbean 4, why? Why you got to do that?
I kind of enjoyed that more than 3. Because 3 was kind of a mess.
3 was a mess, but it tied in a trilogy, like it.
Yeah,
And
it did end everything.
Yeah. And when you released a fourth movie, it just feels like let's try for another trilogy.
Yeah.
No, okay, just me. Okay, but like and then look at how Star Wars is going. Star Wars is doing a weird trifecta where it's like
A
they're
trilogy
having
of trilogies.
a trilogy of trilogies. That's interesting. Hasn't been done before,
Yeah.
and I like that. I think that's fun.
Oh,
That's
we're
innovative.
gonna get more Star Wars movies than that. I hope you know.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
And
gonna.
spin-offs. They're gonna have
Oh, they'll go into probably episode 10, 11, 12, but they'll
yeah,
probably
and
keep
then
them in
and then
like a
they'll have
trilogy setup.
episode 12, 2.8, and they're just gonna have to, yeah, they're gonna have the TIE fighters, they're gonna have the Vietnamese fighters, it's gonna be great. But they have but for get back on track,
Yeah.
going back to Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters would have been a fun trilogy, and I'm tired of sequels. I'm tired of reboots. I'm tired of unoriginal writers, and it's just because people with money want to throw it at something simple that they know is going to give a definite return of
Mm,
X amount. So
yeah.
they pull.
Installed fan base.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it's all about international market now more than it is American market. So
Yeah.
you have movies that are made that are just terrible and they do terribly in the States and no one likes them. It's like bombed at the box office. It's like then why do they keep making more of these movies? Oh,
Yeah.
well, it actually did phenomenal around the other parts of the world, you know?
Yeah.
But some of them are less developed. Some of them, like this might be the only movie that, comes to this village, and
Bottom line with that, I think if anyone should be mad at anyone, it's the writers we should be mad with. It's the lazy writing for this
yeah,
movie
yeah,
because they're doing really easy like 5-year-old jokes. I think these
yeah,
jokes are so juvenile to the point where
yeah,
anyone who's old enough to have seen the originals at the time that they came out and now nothing I've seen about this movie looks to be funny or really even entertaining. So, like, I feel like the right reason to be mad with this movie is the fact that it's not going to be in the spirit of Ghostbusters at all,
yeah.
and it's lazy writing. It's a cash in, and it has nothing to do with the fact that the cast is female.
Feels like they're picking the wrong movies to reboot too. Like, what would be a phenomenal reboot? So long as they didn't just bog it down with if they use like practical effects instead of, keeping it true to the feel of the original. You know, practical effects, elaborate sets, is if they did The Goonies, remake The Goonies. That would be
So,
a fun one, The Goonies.
oh, the Goonies, yeah.
That would be a great one, but you've got,
They don't make movies like that anymore. Just
yeah,
as far as not even the production aspect of it, just the way that plot goes, where you
yeah,
have like just kids getting into trouble. Like
yeah,
we don't see those really anymore,
yeah. Because kids have to be adults with adult situations and adult roles, and they've got to make adult
and
decisions,
they
you
have
know?
to be in a dramatic role that's going to
Yeah,
get them an Oscar
yeah,
and ruin their
yeah,
life.
yeah. I'm just,
It's
I'm
just,
disappointed with the way it's going because it feels like there's such a bell curve, when it comes to movies.
yeah,
It's like they're aiming for a specific intellect, and I'm not saying that, the majority of people that I'm any better than anybody or any more intelligent than anybody, but it feels like there is like, a target audience that they're going for, and that target audience is the majority, and they're just gonna pay it regardless because that's just, the marketing works on them.
yeah.
And
This movie really represents everything about Hollywood that I have an issue with.
yeah, and you know what would be fun? Let's get a big bottle of bourbon and let's play the product placement drinking game and see how drunk we get. Just count every product placement that you see in this movie. Tally it up.
Yeah,
See how many shots that is. You're like, you don't actually have to drink, but see how much whiskey you would have to drink, to count all this product placement.
yeah. Have
And
it be like CinemaSins. Just
yeah,
just keep a running total.
you know what a fun game is that I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share with all of you. This is a fantastic game, okay? If you are sick of Star Wars being everywhere, I mean it's forced upon us. We can't go to the grocery store, we can't listen to the radio, we can't do anything in our lives, can't even browse the internet without seeing Star Wars anymore. It's sickening. I do not like, just marketing
The brand
nowadays.
saturation.
Yeah, marketing nowadays just makes me not want anything to do with Star Wars. And it doesn't have to be with Star Wars. You got to think about anything that you just can't stand the constant marketing. You remember Punch Bug? Slug Bug?
Hmm.
You see a bug out there,
Yeah.
and you punch the person. Start doing that with every
Star
with
Wars.
with every like franchise that you can't stand. Me and my girlfriend. Me and Nikki, we started it at the mall, and we're just walking around the mall, just punching each other, and it made me excited again. Like I can't wait to see more Star Wars, you know. And then we'd walk around the grocery store like a week later, and one of us we'll go Star Wars, you know. And then we'd just be driving down the street, and we'd see a bumper sticker, Star Wars. And it's a fun game to get into. It'll make you appreciate it
Do you see what
instead
you've
of,
done to this man?
yeah,
Is the lengths that he has to go to get excited about your franchises?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Come up with some
I
original
like
stuff.
I like the Star Wars movies, they're fantastic. Like I enjoy watching them like once every few years, like I'll watch one of the Star Wars movies. And then when a new one comes out, I don't mind going to theaters because it is a great production. But I'm not going to be buying all of these t-shirts, I'm not going to be looking down the cereal aisle and go, "What? Darth Vader cereal? Oh man, I'm gonna eat Darth Vader cereal tomorrow morning
Well,
as
it's not
my
marketed
breakfast."
to you; it's marketed to kids.
Yeah,
Hey,
but yeah, man, being a parent is super hard nowadays.
so to bring it all back around, will you
Yeah,
be seeing this new Ghostbusters movie?
no,
Are you a sexist?
no.